In this video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to make this cute wavy top. You can customize it into a sweater, a dress. It's a very easy pattern. And I use 5 colors to make this top. I use navy blue, royal blue, denim blue, baby blue, white, and gray. Remember, you can customize it. If you've not yet subscribed to the channel, please make sure you do hit the subscribe button. It's free. And without further ado, let's get right into the tutorial. So we are going to start off by making a slip knot, and we are going to do a chain that is just a little bit past our shoulders. Okay, so from shoulder to shoulder, then you add like an inch on each side. Okay, and you're going to do a chain which is a multiple of 14. Okay, so 14, 28, just like that. So your chain should be a multiple of 14. So my shoulder is 18 inches, but you can see my shoulder is 17 inches, but I did 19 inches, and if you stretch it, it goes right up to 22.5, 23. Okay, so that's what we want. Then you are going to chain 4. So your chain should be 14, should be multiples of 14 plus 4, and then you are going to do a double crochet from the 5th stitch of the hook. Okay, the 5th stitch from the hook, you're going to do a double crochet, and then in the next 2 chains we are going to do a double crochet decrease. So yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, then you're going to yarn over again, insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through 2, then yarn over, pull through 3. So this is a double crochet decrease. Okay, and we are starting off with the valley of our wavy stitch. So you can call it the wavy stitch, the ripple stitch, or the chevron stitch. So after you've done your double crochet decrease, you are going to do 5 double crochets into the next 5 stitches. Okay, 5 double crochets into the next 5 stitches. As you can see, a valley has been formed, and you're going to do a double crochet increase. So into the following stitch, you're going to put 2 double crochet like I just did there. In the next stitch, you're going to put 3 double crochet. That is the 3rd one right there. And in the next stitch, we are going to put 2 double crochet. So that's a double crochet increase. All of these are double crochet increases basically, and this is going to form our mountain. Okay, or our peak. So now that we have our peak, we are going to do 5 double crochets down to start basically we're going down the valley. Okay, so we've reached the top of the mountain, we are going down the sides of the mountain till we get to the valley. So 5 double crochets. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When you have your 5 double crochets, now we are going to do our valley, and we are going to do a double crochet 2 together. So we are going to be doing our decreases. You double crochet 2 together, 2 stitches together. Then for the very steep part of our valley, we are going to double crochet 3 together. So that's 1, 2, and 3. So we are double crocheting 3 together, and then you're going to pull through all those 4 loops, and then we are going to double crochet 2 together again. So it's basically the opposite of what you did at the peak. At the peak we did an increase of 2 stitches, 3 stitches, 2 stitches. When you get to the valley, you're going to do a decrease of 2 stitches, 3 stitches, and 2 stitches. Okay, and then we are going to do our 5 double crochets up the hill again. So you're just going to do a double crochet of 5 stitches up the hill again, and then when we get to the top, we are going to do an increase. We are going to do increases for the peak. So that is, we are going to do 2 double crochets into 1 stitch. So that is 1 double crochet right there, and that's the 2nd double crochet. And we're going to do another increase again for the peak, and that's 3 double crochets into the same stitch. Remember, we are doing an increase for the peak. That's the 3rd double crochet, and then we are going to do 2 double crochet increase. So you're going to put 2 double crochets into the same stitch. So you're just going to do 5 stitches, go down, and you're going to repeat what we just did for the valley. That is 2 double crochet decrease, 3 double crochet decrease, and 2 double crochet decrease. And we're going to go up the valley again. That's 5 double crochets. When you reach another peak, we are going to do 2 double crochet increase, 3 double crochet increase, 2 double crochet increase, and as you can see, that is a ripple stitch forming. So we are going to continue this pattern until we get to the end. Remember, row number 1 is made up of double crochets, row number 2 will be a different stitch, row number 3 a different stitch, so just keep that in mind. But I promise you, it is very easy to remember once you get the pattern. And if you want to get the written pattern, it's going to be up on my Etsy. Just make sure you check it out. I'm going to leave all the links in the description box so you can easily access them. Yeah, as you can see, we have a ripple forming, and like I said, I'm sure you guys can see it yourself, how it seems like that long chain I made has kind of shrunken. I hope you can see that. That's why I say you should do your top to be just like an inch past your shoulders. So we are going to end our valley. It doesn't matter the number of stitches that you have, as long as you have the multiple 14. You should be left with 4 stitches at the end, and before those 4 chains you should have done like your 5 double crochets. So with those 4 stitches, you're going to do a decrease. Basically, you're doing a valley, so you're going to double crochet 2 of the stitches together for a decrease, then you're going to double crochet another 2 of the stitches together. Okay, so this is just like half a valley. I hope that makes sense. Remember, at the beginning we started with a valley as well, so this is half a valley here at the end, the same way we had half a valley at the beginning. So this is what your row number 1 should be looking like, made up of double crochets only. Okay, so we are going to start row number 2. You're going to chain 1 and turn your work. Row number 2 is made up of single crochets, and you are going to single crochet into every stitch of this row. Just normal single crochets. Okay, so do a normal single crochet into every stitch of this row. Remember, this is row number 2. Normal single crochet into every stitch of this row. When we get to the end, I'm going to show you guys what to do. Okay, right now we are at the end of our work. I'm going to do a single crochet into the last stitch there. I'm not going to do a single crochet into that chain 4, you know, from the previous row that we had, and I'm just going to chain 3, and I'm going to turn my work, and I'm going to skip 2 stitches, and in the 3rd stitch I am going to do 1 double crochet. Okay, I'm going to do 1 double crochet, and row number 3 is the mesh part. Okay, please remember that row number 3 is the mesh part. So you're going to chain 1, skip 1 stitch, put 1 double crochet, and you should count your stalks. Basically, you should have a total of 4 stalks, right? 4 stalks and 4 spaces. And then we are going to chain 1, skip 1 stitch, and at the peak we are going to do an increase. So you're going to put 1 double crochet, chain 1, 1 double crochet, chain 1, 1 double crochet. Okay, so you should have 3 double crochets to form our peak, and then we are going to continue our mesh stitch. Chain 1, skip 1 stitch, insert do a double crochet next stitch, chain 1, skip 1 stitch, and you do a double crochet in the next stitch. Right, so I've done my double crochet and I've chained 1, and if you look, I have a total of 4 stalks or 4 double crochets. So after you have that 4 double crochets, we are going to do our valley decrease, you know, for the mesh. So I'm going to skip 1, insert my hook into the next stitch. Okay, skip 1, insert my hook into the next stitch, and yarn over and pull through 2, just like you're doing a half double crochet. Skip 1 and insert my hook into the next stitch, yarn over, skip 1 and insert my hook into the next stitch. So we are doing 3 decreases, basically 3 stitch decreases, but using the mesh format. Okay, when you can slow down the video to watch that again, and then I am just going to chain 1 and continue my normal mesh stitch going up the hill. That is chain 1, skip 1 stitch, 1 double crochet, and just like that, this is what it's looking like. I hope you guys can see clearly. So we are just going to have a repeat of the pattern. We're just going to skip 1, chain 1, go 1 double crochet until you get to the peak, and the peak you do 1 double crochet into the very peaks or the top stitch, then chain 1, do another double crochet into that same stitch, chain 1, do another double crochet into that same stitch. You're supposed to have 3 stitches, 3 stitches. Okay, 3 mesh stitches in that one. So you're going to continue your mesh stitch for a total of 3 double crochets. Okay, so from the 3 double crochet increase that you had at the peak, you're going to do 3 more double crochet mesh stitches before you have the decrease in the valley. I hope what I'm saying is making sense. Just so you don't lose count of your stitches, no, you're supposed to have 3 double crochets between a peak and a valley, 3 double crochets and 4 holes, 3 double crochets and 4 gaps. Okay, and you're just going to do this until you get to the end of your work. Right, so here we are at the end of our work. You're supposed to be left with 4 stitches, so you are just going to chain 1 and you're going to do a decrease, skip 1, and you're just going to do a mesh decrease. This mesh decrease is going to be made up of just 2 stitches. Okay, so as you can see, the ending of row number 3 is the same as the ending of row number 1. You end with 4 stitches. So this is how our mesh is looking like, and I just want to measure it. You guys can see our top is less than, you know, the 19 inches that we had at the beginning. Okay, that's why I say you should make it a little bit longer, because it's going to shrink. Now row number 4 is going to be single crochet. So you're just going to single crochet into the first double crochet, and you're just going to single crochet into the chain 1 space, just single crochet, no increases, no decreases. Row number 4 is single crochet. So just keep this in mind. The single crochets come as a break or a gap between double crochet stitches. So our first row was a normal double crochet, second row single crochet, and our third row was a mesh double crochet. Okay, we are ending our work with a single crochet in the last double crochet stitch. Okay, then you're going to chain 3, turn your work. This chain 3 counts as a stitch. Okay, so I am going to skip that little hole and I'm going to do another 1 double crochet, and now we are going to do a double crochet decrease. We are starting off in the valley as we normally would, so that's a double crochet decrease, and we are going to do 5 double crochets, and then we are going to do a normal double crochet increase, 3 double crochets and 2 double crochet increase. I hope all of this is making sense. So it's like a repeat of row number 1. Basically, this is a repeat of row number 1. So this is our increase of 2 double crochets. Then in the peak stitch, we are going to do 3 double crochets into that stitch. That's for our increase. And in the next stitch, we are going to do 2 double crochets. And now we are going to continue with our normal 5 double crochets. Like I said, it's the repeat of row number 1. So this is how the pattern is going to go. Once you have a row of double crochet, of just plain double crochet, remember the next row is going to be a single crochet, and after that single crochet it's going to be a mesh stitch, after the mesh stitch another single crochet, after that single crochet back to a solid double crochet. Okay, I hope all of this is making sense. Right, so I've just gotten to the valley part and I'm just doing 2 double crochet decrease, 3 double crochet decrease and 2 double crochet decrease again. So it is just a repetition of row number 1 basically. So after all the decreases, you're going to do 5 double crochets. When you get to the peak, you do your 2 double crochet increase, 3 double crochet increase, then 2 double crochet increase, and you're just going to repeat the pattern like this until how long you want your top to be. If you're turning it into a dress, you make it however long you want it to be, or if it's a sweater, however long you want it to be still. Okay, so I'm going to meet you back when I've gotten the full length of everything. Right, so before we go to the full length of the top, I want to show you guys like the measurements of the peak and the valleys after the 2 mesh stitches I've done. So the peak is showing 2.5 inches while the valleys are like 3 inches, and yeah, and I want to show you guys how to change colors as well. So I change colors after 7 rows. Okay, so here I'm just finishing up a mesh stitch. I'm finishing up a mesh stitch, and I change colors on when it's time for me to do a single crochet row. So since I was using two strands of yarn, I just cut off one of the strands, so it's going to give like a transition from one color to the next, and then I just pull it through. I chain one, and I'm just going to have a single crochet row here. So I did all my switching of colors on a single crochet row. So I'm just going to single crochet all the way to the end, and then I am going to fully change the color in the next row, and the next row is a double crochet row. I hope all of this is making sense. So our transition colors are on the 8th row. So after I do a block of, you know, solid color of the same color for 7 rows. The transition color is on the 8th row, then the new color is on the 9th row. So I just single crochet to the end, as you can see. Then I cut off the other color, and then I just yarn over and pull through, and I've got the color attached. And after a single crochet row, remember we have a double crochet row. Okay, so I'm just going to chain 3, and I'm going to follow this procedure. Remember, it's going to be easier if you were doing this with a single color. Okay, this is not going to cause you this much trouble, but this is just how I do mine to get that smooth transition from one color to the next. Right, so I'm just going to continue the pattern, though the different color now, and I am going to show you guys when I've got the full panel. This is just me counting it for you guys. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 and 8. Right, I just wanted to let you guys see it. So this is our full panel right here. I did a total of 48 rows. Yes, these are 48 rows, including the single crochet rows. Yeah, so I did a total of 48 rows. You can see the transition colors in there, and the total length of my top, the height of my top, you know, how long my top is 17 inches, while the width is 16.5. Okay, so this is what it's looking like, and obviously you need to go ahead and do a second panel. You need to go ahead and do a second panel, and yep, we are going to start by stitching both panels together. So for the second panel, I sort of switched up the blue. As you can see, I did like a shiny blue for that part, but that was just me. Okay, so you're just going to prepare your panels for stitching, but now we are going to do the sleeves, and the sleeves is basically making a chain that is long enough to go around your upper arm, making sure that chain is still a multiple of 14 plus 4. Okay, and you're going to use the same process that we did, and I did a total of 22 rows. Those are 22 rows. Okay, so I did 3 rows of each color. For my sleeve to go around my arm, it was a total of 15 inches stretch, 15 inches stretch, but normally it's 12 inches, and the length is 8 inches. So I just did a single crochet at the corner to make it to be smooth, and this is me just counting the number of stitches so you guys can see. I hope you guys can see the transitions and all of that. Now I've just folded my sleeve so you guys can see exactly how it looks. Alright, so tell me what you think of the tutorial so far. Leave me a comment down in the comment section. Subscribe if you haven't, and yeah, so obviously it's a sleeve. You need to go ahead and do 2 of them, and you're going to just stitch them to the front and the back panel, and I'm going to show you guys how to do the stitching right now. Alright, so you're just going to make sure that both sides of the front and back panel, the right sides are touching each other, and the back side, you know, the wrong side of your work is facing you. Okay, then I'm going to go into the peaks at the just before the middle peak, basically the peaks before the middle peak, and I'm going to put stitch markers there so that I can know that that's where I want the neckline to be. Okay, you can go ahead and adjust it however wide you want the neckline to be for you. You can have your neckline to be like 5 inches wide or 7 inches wide, it depends on you. Then I'm just using the same color of yarn to single crochet to join. You can sew if that's what you want. You can sew the top part of your sleeves or of the front panels if that's what you want, but just make sure you're matching up all the stitches as much as you can. And I'm just going to be tucking the carrying the yarn basically with me. Okay, so I'm just going to single crochet until I get to that stitch marker. So when you get to where you want to stop, you're just going to chain one and you're going to snip off your yarn. And yep, this is what it is looking like. So I ended up switching it up. I ended up changing it. Okay, so I finally did it at the valley because I wanted it to droop down. I wanted to droop down my shoulder, but if you wanted to cover your shoulders, you go ahead and do the peaks instead of single crochet to the valley. I hope you guys can see that. Okay, so I'm just going to turn it to the right side, as you can see, and then I am going to make sure I find the midpoint of the sleeve. We're about to attach the sleeve right now. I'm going to find the midpoint of the sleeve, and then I am going to attach that midpoint to the points that I just single crochet to join the front and the back panels together, right? And I'm going to make sure that both right sides of the sleeve and the front and back panels are touching each other, and the wrong side of the sleeve is facing me. And right here I'm just getting stitch markers in order to mark where I want to start sewing from. Make sure that whatever row you mark on the front side should be the exact same row that you mark on the other side, okay? Because you don't want your top to be lopsided. Basically, you don't want one side to be longer than the other. Right, when you have all of that marked, you're just going to grab your crochet hook and you're going to single crochet. You're just going to pull the yarn through and chain one or chain two just to secure it better, and then you're just going to single crochet the sleeve to the main part of your top. Make sure that when you get to the middle of your sleeve, it aligns with the stitching part of your front and back panel. So you're going to go ahead and you're going to stitch until you get to the end, and this is what it's looking like, as you can see. And now I'm just going to fold my top, making sure that the wrong sides are facing me, okay? The wrong sides of my top are supposed to be facing me. And from here I'm going to stitch from the sleeve to the bottom part of our top, okay? So I've just folded it. As you can see, the stitch sides are facing me, and I'm just going to insert my fishing oh my god, I was about to speak like a beader. In case you don't know, I have a beaded back channel as well. So insert your crochet hook into the stitch at the corner there of your sleeve, and then I'm just going to stitch all the way down, making sure I'm matching all my stitches. And when I get to the armpit point, I make sure that both points match as well. And yeah, so I'm just going to stitch from the sleeve down to the sides of our top, and I'm going to meet you guys back. I'm using single crochet. If you want to sew, you can go ahead and sew as well. So instead of single crocheting, especially in rows where there are different colors, you can do like the matras stitch. You can find a tutorial on YouTube on how to do a matras stitch. So basically you could use any color of yarn to stitch your work, but it's not going to show that you use that color basically. So as you can see, I ended up using the matras stitch for the stitching from the sleeve going down. If you wanted to use a single crochet, I advise that when it gets to a place where you have to change colors, you go ahead and change that color, okay? And obviously you're going to stitch the other side of your top, and this is how it's going to look like. Like I said, I wanted it to have that droop shoulder. That's why I ended up like that. If you want to extend this to a dress, you can go ahead and try that and use whatever color of yarn you want to use as well. So I hope this tutorial was understandable. If you have any questions, do not forget to ask me down in the comment section. So I'll be waiting for all your comments. And yeah, I hope that God continues to bless all of you. I hope all of you are doing great. And tell me what you think about the top, by the way, in the comment section. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.